And we're in trouble from the inside. And Rome didn't fall from the outside. They crumble from inside. And so you can go home and do the selfish thing and live the life you want, or you can kick some rear end. I'm not going there because I love Washington. I hate Washington, although the crab cakes are fantastic. I hate it there. I want to go home. But the truth of the matter is there's work to be done. I'm not going there to make friends. And I'm not going there to work with one specific party, whether that be my own or Democrats. I'm going there to fight for freedom. I'm going there to fight for the Constitution and to retreat the size of this government. Not like Barry Goldwater said, not stop its growth, not slow its growth, shrink it. That's what we need in this country. And come hell or high water, that's what we need. That's you, ma'am. All right, well, in reference to your first question, because you weren't talking about legalizing, you just think we need to change our behavior. Well, you're right. There's a savior out there. I promise I'm not it. There are a lot of things that can be solved in this country. Most of the problems can be solved in this country if we could get back to the family values that made this country great. You're right. And to say otherwise would be ignorant. When it comes to Social Security, first of all, let me say, it's going to be the American people's choice in what they want. You can choose it if you want, or your kids can choose it, or grandkids can choose it. But here's the problem, and here's the problem with anything when it comes to these things. How many years of human existence have there been? And how long has there been Social Security? We weren't dying on the streets before it. People are smarter than we give them credit for. I'll never buy the argument that if there's no government solution, there's no solution. Are people foolish and irresponsible with their money? You bet they are. Of course they are, especially in this day and age. If you gotta have it, you gotta have it now. And that's why I think a choice is important. If your grandkids want Social Security, then take that. But I also feel like, and this is one of the most important parts about the choice we need to offer going forward, when you've paid into something your whole life, and then you pass on, and you don't get to pass that down to your children, that's unacceptable. Things like the death tax are unacceptable, and things like Social Security that you can't pass any of the benefits that may not have finished to you on your children is unacceptable. That's why I like these individual ownerships of the choices you can make. You can choose stocks, you can choose bonds, you can choose a savings account. But when you choose that, when your grandchildren choose that, even though you're probably going to encourage them not to, when they choose it, the government doesn't own it. It's theirs. They're not subject to COLA increases or increase in retirement age. And when they have kids, they can pass it on. It's not, I don't know anybody that would go there and say, hey, we just need to take an axe to the thing, because it's become part of our society. It's going to be the American people's choice and what they want. But again, like everything else, I do not and will never buy this notion that if there's no government solution, there's no solution. Especially when it comes to things like that. We heard this argument when it came with, health care. It's no one you knew, and it wasn't you, but believe me, right around the corner, just out of sight, someone's dying on the street without health care. That's not true. It's certainly not true in this country, where we are the most tolerant, generous people in the world. Show me somebody who went to every church, charity, synagogue, and couldn't find the care they wanted, or someone that could help them. We are the best people in the world, and we help people. We don't need the government to do it for us. Steve?
Kelly, I got some questions and all front, but I asked a lot, and one came up to me. One of our problems in this country is we've lost our moral guide. And one of the questions in the crowd on the back was all about abortion. To me, there's no human dignity. We've destroyed human life from the very beginning. And if we get in Green Valley, it isn't going to be long, it's going to be euthanasia. Some of our states are already made it legal. I sure don't want my tax dollars killing babies. I wonder if I heard a vote and what we can do to stop this slaughter of human life.
Well, you already know my position on it, Steve. I am 100% pro-life, always have been, always will be. I don't know how we can ever talk about that. How we can never talk about protecting people's freedoms when there are innocent people unprotected in this country. Seriously unprotected. You talk about our moral compass. Again, there's a savior out there, and I'm not him. We need better people in government, sure. We need more moral people in government, sure. But if we're waiting for the archangels to come down and run for office, we're going to be holding out for a while. It's up to us. It's up to us. It's how you raise your kids and your grandkids. It's what it's like at home. You don't want me running your family life, but you know my feelings on abortion. I've never hit them. I never will. And I understand that's a controversial issue. We have some of our best volunteers that disagree with me on the issue. But again, I'd be disingenuous and lying to you if I came out and said anything else. Sir?
Sir, is abortion a moral issue? How can that be legislated?
It wasn't legislated. It was passed by the courts. It was never legislated. It was passed by the courts. It was passed by an activist Supreme Court. It never should have. Roe versus Wade. It's what we've done in this country. We talk about liberty, we talk about everything else, and there's a group of people that can't fight for themselves and leave hanging out to dry every day. Yes. 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 I don't disagree. Ma'am?
Yeah, but your husband's been standing over there for quite a while.
Sorry about that. You got to wave me down.
You'll get waved down after he gets to the
Okay. Ma'am? Oh, go ahead.
First of all, Mr. Kelly, I'd like to thank you for the service to our country.
Thank you.
We have a nuts and bolts question. When you were elected to the House, what committees do you feel you would be maximally effective and aspire to in order to move our agenda?
Yes, sir. Ways and Means, first and foremost. The House Ways and Means Committee, they write the tax laws in this country. I'd like to say so in writing the tax laws in this country. Also, armed services. As you may imagine, that's something near and dear to my heart, and I don't feel that our troops are being treated properly at this time. And so those are two that jump off the map right after. There are some others that interest me, such as obviously budget, intelligence, these other things, but Ways and Means and armed services, if I had my pick, would be that. Yes, sir. Ma'am? Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
I want to talk a little bit about Social Security.
Yes, ma'am.
And since you're a history buff,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think it might be nice if you look way back to when Social Security first started. Because it wasn't owned by the government, and still is not. The government took it over in the early 60s. It started in the 40s. There were 3 plans that started. Townsend Plan, Social Security, and I've forgotten the name of the other one. But nevertheless, in the early 60s, the government took it over to manage only, because it was the people's money, and it still is. And they saw there was a lot of money in there, and they wanted that money. So they borrowed the money, never paid it back. So if you take Social Security back, before it was changed with the government managing, that's going to be better. And that was privatized Social Security. Up until the 60s, not everybody had to pay Social Security. Only the ones that chose to pay.
Preach it, keep
And I
going.
think a lot of people don't understand.
I can listen to you talk on this all night, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're right. Look,